Here are some examples of how to find the variable value within squares. So our initial problem is x squared equals 121. So we think about this as we need to solve for x by taking the square root of both sides, because the opposite of squaring is taking the square root. So we applied the definition, the square root. So therefore we have x equals plus or minus 121. We'll talk more about that plus or minus in a second. So when we solve for that, knowing our multiplication facts, this is one that is a nice perfect square, that x equals plus or minus 11. So once again, we're thinking about what number squared, meaning times themselves, are going to equal 21. Now remember that this means that x could be 11 or negative 11 to make the original problem, because when we square a negative number, it's negative times that negative, which becomes a positive. Another example here of finding the variable values within squares is x squared equals 16 over 169. So once again, we're thinking about solving for x by taking the square root of both sides, because the opposite of square is taking the square root. So then we know that x equals plus or minus the square root of 16 over 169, and we apply the definition of the square roots as we've talked about. Now this is a problem that we do not know each individual part. However, we can see that there are perfect squares within this, that the square root of 16 is going to give us 4, and the square root of 169 gives us 13. So therefore, we can say that x equals plus or minus 4 over 13, because we were thinking about what number squared equals 16 over 169. So therefore, as stated before, solutions are 4 or negative 4 over 13. Once again, always make sure when we're finding these, when we're applying the square root, we understand that there is a positive and a negative number that will work.